those of us with busy lives looking to maximise our gardening happiness in the most time-efficient way possible, I'm visiting a gardener who may have found the perfect solution. It's a planter designed to help plants thrive in the most tough, space-restricted environments: rooftops, paved backyards, balconies and steep slopes. Here in Darling Point, 4 kilometres from central Sydney, Sancha Dickson's home and garden stretches out into the harbour.
Oh, look at this.
Back in 2017, Costa paid a visit to explore the steeply terraced garden, which took loads of maintenance. But since then, Sancha has been finding ways to maximise her gardening pleasure with less effort, here on her exposed terrace.
Hi, Tammy.
Hi, Sancha.
Lovely to see you.
Lovely to be here. What an amazing garden you have.
Thank you. I just love it. It's my pride and joy.
And how long have you been here?
50 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And was the garden looking like this?
No, it wasn't. It was just pretty shocking when we bought it. All the walls were falling down and it was just full of fish, fern and weeds, really.
So we're here today to have a look at the plants on the terrace. Can you tell me a bit more about them? Like, they have to put up with a lot, don't they?
They do have to put up with a lot. Firstly, they have to put up with me because, you know, I try anything and give it a go. They have to put up with the salt air. They have to put up with the strong northeasterly, which is a very harsh wind in the summer, and the westerly sun in the afternoon. Hence, succulents and cactus are the perfect ones for the job. I am a great plant collector and I had about 10,000 plants. So to have them in pots was extremely difficult because of the maintenance. They'd be either too dry or too wet. Whereas when you've got them neatly planted into these fabulous gabions, you can look after them so much more easily. If you've got a pot, you plant something in the top. But if you've got these gabions, you can plant all the way around. So hundreds of plants could go into, you know, one structure like that.
So when you say gabion, so they're these large cage-like
structures? Yes, they're like a hay bale, but they've got wire around them, and then they've got this fantastic medium inside that nurtures the plants so that you can put very tall cactus in those, which, I mean, that would be, 2.5 metres, and hopefully he'll get bigger. This one, which I call my coral reef, is just like a blanket that's over stairs, and it's got short-rooted plants. If you've got a small space, you can have masses of plants and make it neat and tidy.
So this gabion structure is what underpins all your plantings?
All of it, absolutely, in different shapes and sizes, depending on where they have to go.
So I can see we've got various layers of fabric,
yes,
which would help then the roots cling on to.
That's correct.
Before they grow deeper into the media?
The media, yeah. And this polystyrene allows the water to
drain away. A drip irrigation line runs along the top of the gabion, releasing about 1 litre of water a day. The water absorbs through the porous outer layer, where it finds a capillary mat which holds moisture for the plants to draw on when needed. The gabion acts like a rock face that plants cling to as they would in nature.
This is my coffin. When it was nude, it was the perfect size, shape, everything for a coffin.
And how do you know that?
Well, because we made them in the old days, but not like these. Ours were in timber and only had one purpose, and it wasn't a very pretty one.
So that was your business?
Well, it was one of the businesses, yes, that my husband and I owned, yes. But my husband was an accountant, and he worked out that you could only sell one to one person. And so therefore, you know, it wasn't...
A true businessman.
Yeah, absolutely. So we gave that one up, and these are so much prettier.
Yes. And what have you got planted here?
Well, euphorbias and agaves and other various cacti and succulents that I bought at various times. Different colours and textures. That's what my garden is really all about.
And where did you get the euphorbias from? They're magnificent.
A lot of them came from deceased estates. They have auctions and they sell their plants that are in pots in the garden, etc. And he's done so well since he's been in this medium. When he came, he only had 2 arms, and now he's got all of that.
He's just multiplied.
He has, he's a happy chappy. This is another gabion, and he's got my leftovers, but he's flourishing. He seems to be thoroughly enjoying the leftovers.
So I can see you've got various, like there's kalanchoe, there's blue chalk sticks, they're all cascading like from the gabion.
Well, that's right, and that's the beauty of the gabion is that it isn't just a flat top, so that everything can fall down and cover the entire structure, which I think is stunning. It gives me pleasure every day. When these do get leggy, as this one is, you can just cut it off and then stick it back in. It's just so easy to look after.
And this begonia, this is not something that you typically see in such an exposed area, but it's thriving.
It is. It's the most extraordinary begonia. It was given to me by a friend. She just gave me a small one. And anywhere I've got a difficult spot in the garden, I stick it in. And I love the fact it's got that lovely red, the back of its leaf. It's beautiful all round, I think.
Yeah, normally with begonias, they can be quite, not necessarily fragile, but they prefer like filtered sunlight, cooler conditions, but here's exposed and just...
It does, and it just takes it. I don't know why, but it does.
You've made it tough and hardy.
Of course, like me.
But this, your coral reef.
Yes, this is my special little treasure.
There's so many different textures and shapes and even colours.
Absolutely, and many of them I can remember where I got them, and so they're sort of, it's a bit like a family album. You can, look at them and enjoy memories of where they came from.
That's so sweet. So you've got Haworthias, there's I think a few aloes in there, and then agaves. Agaves are a real recurrent theme in your garden.
They certainly are, yes, absolutely.
And so where does the name come from?
What, the coral reef?
Yeah.
My imagination, really, because on my very rare trip to the Barrier Reef, when you snorkel down and you see all those different corals and they're all moving and the colours and the textures, that's just what this reminds me of. As with most living things, occasionally something dies and then you've got to find something else to put in. And
gosh, where will you find something to put in?
It's tough, yeah, but somehow I manage. Yeah.
So with all these planting schemes, what does it bring to you?
Untold pleasure, and particularly at night. When you're on your own, and to come out here and look at all my friends, it just gives me tremendous joy.
I love how Sancha has transformed her terrace from a multitude of scattered pots into a beautiful and intense display of form and texture. And even better, we can all think about using this technique at home. Whether you have a hot rooftop, an awkward slope, or a bare backyard, it's a great solution.